You were raised to believe saving money is always the safe choice. It is not. Right now, the cash in your savings account is losing a race you never agreed to run. This video is not against saving. It is against the version that quietly makes you poorer. By the end, you will know exactly how much cash to hold and where every dollar above it belongs. Because the gap between smart saving and scared saving is worth 6 figures over a lifetime. First, meet the thief that visits your savings account every single night. It never breaks the lock. It shrinks what the money inside can buy. Its name is inflation, and it is the most polite robbery ever invented. Prices rise around 3% a year on average. Some years far more. Your savings account pays well under 1% at most big banks. Subtract the two and your safe money loses roughly 2% of its power every year. 2% sounds small. Compound it, and watch what a decade does. $10,000 parked in savings buys about $8,000 of life 10 years later. 20 years, and a third of the value evaporates while the number on screen never changes. That is the trick. The balance looks safe. The buying power bleeds. Your grandparents bought a house for what a car costs today. Same lesson, bigger font. Groceries remember inflation even when your bank statement forgets it. So money standing still is money walking backward. There is no neutral. Now, banks know all this. Savings accounts are a product, and you are not the customer. The bank lends your deposit at 7% and hands you back a fraction of 1. The gap funds the marble lobby you are standing in. Safe for them. Slow for you. None of this means cash is useless. Cash has exactly one job. Cash is a fire extinguisher. Essential in emergencies. Terrible as furniture. 3 to 6 months of expenses. That is the full-time role cash deserves. 1 year if your income swings. Freelancers and business owners, you know who you are. Everything above that line is an employee sleeping on your couch. Wake it up. Because there is a second, sneakier way saving makes you poorer. This one does not attack your money. It attacks your time and your ceiling. Meet extreme frugality. The hobby that dresses up as a virtue. Driving 20 minutes across town to save 40 cents per gallon on fuel. Spending an hour hunting a $5 coupon while your skills rust in the tab behind it. Run the math nobody runs. If your time is worth 20 an hour, that coupon cost you 15. Poor saving optimizes pennies. Wealthy saving optimizes hours. There is also a ceiling problem. You can only cut so far. Rent exists. Food exists. Cutting has a floor. Earning has no ceiling. Guess which one the saving obsession ignores. Every hour spent squeezing the budget is an hour not spent raising the income. The person who spends that hour learning a skill buys back entire decades. A 3% raise beats a lifetime of coupon Sundays. Ask any spreadsheet. Then comes the cruelest version. Saving that costs your health. Skipping the dentist to protect $200 invites the $2,000 crown. Buying shoes that fall apart twice costs more than the pair that lasts 5 years. Terry Pratchett called it the boots theory. Being poor is expensive because cheap breaks. So the goal was never spend as little as possible. The goal is waste as little as possible. Waste hides in unused subscriptions. Not in your grocery protein. Cut the invisible leaks. Fund the visible life. That is adult frugality. Now the deepest cut. The psychological reason oversaving feels so good. For many of us, saving is not a strategy. It is a fear response wearing a calculator. Money in the account feels like safety. Money invested feels like risk. The feeling lies. Loss aversion. Losing $100 hurts twice as much as gaining it feels good. So your brain votes for the option with no visible losses, cash, every time. But the statement hides the loss by never showing buying power. The perfect crime. Markets drop visibly and recover quietly. Cash drops quietly and never recovers. Over every 20-year window in a century of data, broad markets beat cash. Everyone. The scary asset was the safe one all along. The safe one was the slow leak. There is also hoarding psychology. The number itself becomes the comfort object. Watching the balance grow releases the same reward loop as any collection. But a scoreboard you never deploy is just a very expensive screensaver. Ask what the money is for. Money without a mission defaults to anxiety storage. Some savers are healing from real scarcity. If that is you, be kind to yourself first. The fix is not spending recklessly. It is giving every saved dollar a written job. Fear saves in one pile. Strategy saves in buckets. Let me hand you the buckets. Bucket 1. Shield. 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. Boring account. Instant access. This bucket buys sleep, and it stops you selling investments during panics. Use a high-yield account if available. Some interest beats none. But safety is the point. Fill this bucket first. Nothing else starts until the shield is up. Bucket 2. Engine. Everything above the shield goes to work in broad, boring investments. Index funds. Hundreds of companies in one purchase. No stock picking. No genius required. Automate it monthly. The same day income lands, before your mood gets consulted. Historically, that boring engine averages 7 to 10% yearly over long periods. At 7%, money doubles roughly every 10 years. Doubling is the whole game. Save $500 monthly in cash for 30 years and inflation bites a huge piece. Invest the same money at 7% and it passes $600,000. Same discipline. $400,000. That is the price of confusing saving with investing. Bucket 3. Ladder. Money invested in your own earning power. A course, a certification, a tool, a mentor. Anything that raises your hourly value. This bucket has the highest returns of all three, and nobody tracks it. A $200 course that adds $5,000 to your salary returns 25 times over. No index fund on earth prints 25 times. Your skills routinely do. Order matters. Shield first. Then split new money between engine and ladder. A simple split. 70% engine, 30% ladder, until the ladder pays a raise. Then raise the engine share with every raise, and never let the shield leak. 3 warnings before you run this system. Warning 1. Do not skip the shield to chase engine returns. Unshielded investors sell at bottoms. Warning 2. Do not day trade the engine. It works precisely because you leave it alone. Checking daily invites tinkering. Tinkering invites losses. Check quarterly at most. Warning 3. Beware anything promising engine returns with shield safety. That sentence funds scams. If guaranteed and 12% appear in the same paragraph, close the door. Now the myths that will try to pull you back to scared saving. Myth. Investing is gambling. Truth. Owning hundreds of businesses for decades is the opposite of dice. Gambling is one bet, one night. Investing is every bet, every night, for 30 years. Myth. I need to be rich to start. Truth. Many platforms start at $1 today. Myth. I will start when the market calms down. The market has never once been calm. Time in the market beats timing the market. The oldest boring sentence in finance keeps winning. Miss the 10 best days in a decade and returns collapse by half. Nobody knows which days. So the plan is embarrassing in its simplicity. Automate. Wait. Live your life. Your savings habit is not the enemy. It is horsepower pointed at a wall. Turn the same horsepower 90 degrees, and it builds the life the account was guarding. Here is your this week checklist. 5 boxes. 1 evening. Box 1. Count your true monthly expenses. The real number, subscriptions included. Box 2. Multiply by your shield size. 3, 6, or 12 months. Write the target. Box 3. Open one high-yield account for the shield if yours pays nearly nothing. Box 4. Open one index fund account. It takes 15 minutes and a cup of tea. Box 5. Set one automatic transfer. Any amount. The pipe matters more than the flow. Do those 5, and you've already left the bottom half of all savers. Now the recap, short enough to remember in the supermarket. Cash is a shield, not a strategy. Size it, then stop feeding it. Every dollar above the shield is an employee. Send it to the engine or the ladder. And the highest return account you own is the one behind your eyes. Remember the thief from the beginning? He still visits every night. Now he finds a shield he cannot shrink fast, an engine outgrowing him, and a ladder he cannot climb. Inflation never stops. It just stops mattering to people with a system. That is the whole shift. From guarding money to deploying it. Your grandparents saved because banks paid 5% and pensions existed. Honor them. Update them. The advice was right for their world. The world changed. The advice stayed. You are not betraying discipline by investing. You are graduating it. Picture yourself 10 years out, opening the engine account for a quarterly check. The number inside did more work in 1 year than your shield did in a decade. And the strangest part, you will barely remember doing anything at all. That is what good systems feel like. Boring on the way, unbelievable at the destination. Scared saving feels busy and ends up behind. Smart saving feels lazy and ends up free. So keep the habit. Fire the strategy. Tonight, run the 5 boxes. Future you signs the receipt. If someone tells you saving is always safe, show them a 1980 price tag. Next video. The 18 money traps that keep smart people broke. Bring a pen, subscribe, and climb quietly with us.